There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was the Belly of Tea. The winds blew hard, her bow dipped down, oh blow me bully boys blow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She had not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Before the boat had hit the water, the whale's tail came up and caught her. All hands to the side, harpooned and fought her when she dived down low. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. No line was cut, no whale was freed, and the captain's mind was not on greed, but he belonged to the whaleman's creed. She took that ship in tow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
Greetings, people of Earth. My name is Rob Wieland. I am an author, game designer, and professional nerd. And today I am the host of Theater of the Mind Players, your friendly neighborhood actual play show. This is a very special episode of Theater of the Mind Players because we have been brought together in the vastness of the cyberspace to play a game with our friend of the show, the lovely and talented Ms. AMY VORPAhl.
Yay!
This is where everyone at home is going to clap.
Yeah.
And we're very excited to play a game with Amy because it's fun, and also because we want to help get the word out about her Kickstarter for her upcoming album. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well as we play the game, since this is, well, I don't know if it's sponsored content really, but it's more like a favor for a friend content.
Yes, because I am not giving you any money. So this is definitely out of the goodness of your hearts, and I appreciate it.
Welcome to sucker content, where we don't get paid. And no. We are so very excited to not only play with Amy, but also to help her out with her projects, because we all love her. It's a win-win because she gets to talk about this thing, and we get to play another round of one of my favorite RPGs that's come out in the past couple of years, Broken Compass. Broken Compass is a pulp adventure RPG, which is released by an Italian company called Two Little Mice. And they kickstarted this last year, and I fell in love with it, because I'm a huge fan of pulp action and adventure. The Indiana Jones movies are my favoriteest movies ever. But they also did an amazing job with the form factor of the game. Each of the game books is in the sort of adventure diary style. They've got some gorgeous art. They even have the little pencil niche on the side. You can stick a pencil in. And we have played this in the past in the more traditional style. We've got a Golden Age episode that you should check out on our channels and our podcasts. So this one is actually going to come out first because we want to put it out during the span of the Kickstarter. But so you're going to get to see us as pulp adventurers punching Nazis using this system. And today you're going to get to see us as swashbuckling pirates as we play through one of these setting books that is still in the process of coming out, which is called Jolly Roger. So this game is a high action and adventure game with a very light rule system, which is why we're actually going to make characters on camera here, and you'll get to kind of see our. We usually relegate this to our session zeros, which you can pick up as a if you become a friend of Pat Rayon and support us financially. But we're giving this one away because I like the system and I want to show off how fun it is to make characters, and it also gives us a little more time to sort of luxuriate with Amy and instead of the usual table chat of when you're making characters of like, should we get dinner? Man, this guy at work is a jerk. It will instead be, inside the actor studio with Amy Vorpahl. So I hope you brought all of your very clever answers.
I didn't.
We don't have any ferns though. I don't think we can do this right.
So let's go around and introduce everybody. I will start. My name is Rob Wieland. He, him. I am an author, game designer, and professional nerd. You may have seen my work on Geek and Sundry or the Forbes website. I've also designed dozens of RPG books. I've worked with licenses like Star Trek and Firefly and Star Wars. And my favorite pirate movie or swashbuckling movie, because that way it kind of incorporates out to other sword pointy man movies. My favorite is the Three Musketeers duology that was released in the 70s with Michael York as D'Artagnan, Charlton Heston as Cardinal Richelieu, and a bunch of big actors from that period. Let's move on to our first mind player.
Hi, I'm Ethan Eichsett Anderson, he, him, and for this, I am the podcast editor. I also can make stuff, and yeah, I don't know, just hang out.
Stuff and things. Do you want to introduce the lizards?
Oh, up here, right there is his little head, is Smog, and then down there is
dragon.
Audrey, the tortoise. But yeah, working on that this weekend for example of making things. I'm gonna say my favorite pirate movie is actually a movie within a movie because it makes me laugh every time I see it, and it's from Rock Slide with Patrick Warburton.
Wow, that is the deepest cut we have ever had during one of these segments.
If you've not seen Rock Slide, I would look it up, or just the clip of the pirate movie they made in it.
All right, let's move on to our next mind player.
Hi, I'm Tawny P. Thompson. I'm an actor and fight choreographer here in Milwaukee. She, her, and you opened up to swashbuckling, not just pirate? Okay, I gotta say The Court Jester with Danny Kaye and Basil Rathbone because... Basil Rathbone, but that was his last film ever as a fighter, and it's some of the best fights I've ever seen, and Danny Kaye is just brilliant, and it's so good.
Danny Kaye is a beast in that movie.
Like, he really is.
The
sword fight with the snapping and he forgets how to sword fight every time he snaps, and it's hilarious, and Basil Rathbone handles him so well because it's so clear that Danny Kaye doesn't actually know how to sword fight,
right,
but he makes him look so good.
Let's move on to our next mind player.
Hello, my name is Sarah Babe, she, they. I am a professional podcaster, voice actor, general nerd of all nerds. Yeah, I'm a nerd. That's what I do. And I have to say my favorite pirate movie is Ice Pirates, because Angelica Houston is amazing, and also Ron Perlman's in that movie, so it's pretty much just amazing, and it's super cheesy, and I love it.
All right, let's move on to our next mind player.
Hello, I'm Tony Cheek, he, him. I am a voice actor, writer, and edit the YouTube.
All of YouTube or just our stuff?
Just our stuff.
Okay, I don't know how the YouTubes work.
I mean, I could spice it up and say all of YouTube and have a nice resume, but that's not true. Favorite pirate swashbuckling movie's probably got to be.
Oh, the Goonies.
Yeah.
Runner-up was probably Treasure Planet, but I was wearing the shirt, so I had to.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to our very special guest.
That's me. I'm AMY VORPAHL, she, her, and I'm an actor, writer, dungeon master, adventure writer, and singer-songwriter, as it turns out, as well. So I always forget that part of my Venn diagram, but it's here in the forefront. And I will say, look, as far as pirate swashbuckling, I'm extending that even further out to just movies on ships. And my favorite movie on a ship is The Perfect Storm. Yeah, that with George Clooney. It's got like it's a really stellar, bizarre, almost bizarre cast, and it's really terrific. It's about a huge storm that some fishermen who are not really equipped to go out into decide to go out into it to try to make some extra money.
Is that fishing. Is that the one with Mark Wahlberg too?
He's in it. Yeah, George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg. Those might be the top two. And there's part of me that thinks Matt Damon's in it, but I don't think Matt Damon's in it. That could be Mark Wahlberg in my brain.
I do that every time, every single time.
Oh my gosh.
Every single time.
I never realized that they actually do look like really similar to each other.
I know.
We always play a game with Tawny
embarrassing.
anytime we watch a movie. She has to tell us which one's in it. And
I'm always wrong.
Oh my God.
Wow, that sounds like a great a great drinking game of like Damon or Wahlberg. Like, all right. So now that everybody knows who everybody is, let's get into the piratey goodness. So to make a character in Broken Compass, basically the way that you make characters is you choose a tag, which is kind of a character concept, a character description. You choose two of them, you mash them together, and that tells you the skills, abilities, and other things that you're going to need. Now there are two ways that you can do this. You can either choose these skills and abilities on your own if you are like Tawny, who has a 5-page character bio for every character that she comes up with, or you can embrace the chaos and roll randomly on a table that smashes these two things together. So just as a rundown of the available tags, we have action hero, daredevil, soldier, pirate, gunslinger, sailor, wingman, medic, professor, person of faith, cheater, noble, merchant, explorer, hunk, old salt, rebel, spy, thief, or scum. Now, keep in mind, since everybody is, we're going to be starting this adventure on a prison island, you don't have to choose something that makes you a criminal. During this part of history, people got sent to prison for all sorts of reasons. So let's talk character concepts here. Does anybody have a strong concept that they want to start with?
I kind of was thinking of, I think Old Salt Pirate is the tags that I'm going to go for, because I'm kind of thinking that my character is going to be the, what's the thing with the crow's nest? Like the lookout, whatever that is officially called in pirate times. Okay. I just want to randomly swing out of nowhere and be like, "Hello."
Sarah? So there are two other larger tags that you can apply. You can either apply the tag of true. If you apply the tag of true, it means you basically take one tag and apply it twice.
Okay.
Or did you want to take either the young or the old tag? I think it would be fun if you played like a young, 12-year-old tomboy, girl who climbs up and down all over. Like, I'm kind of envisioning the pirate version of like Toph Beifong.
Yes! Yes! I am Toph Pirate.
Okay, that's great.
So then I'm just a young pirate?
Well, no, you'd be a young old salt sailor.
Yes. But would I be Old Salt Pirate?
Or I'm sorry, young Old Salt pirate.
Young Old Salt Pirate. Okay.
Sarah,
Yeah.
as an Old Salt pirate,
Okay.
you're so you see that there are 6 fields on the character sheet
Yeah.
that those are kind of your attributes. So you're going to take one in wild,
Okay.
and these are the skills that you're going to get:
Okay.
fight, stunt, cool, first aid, scout, survival, tough, and alert.
Alert.
So for pirate, you're going to get a dot in action,
Okay.
and then fight, stunt, shoot, charm, eloquence, scout, dexterity, and stealth. You also get the expertise in the sea and expertise in foul play.
Okay. Sorry. For pirate, it was fight, stunt, shoot, charm, eloquence. It was a
Scout, dexterity, and then stealth.
dexterity, and stealth. So
Okay,
if that gives me, because that means I would have fight, stunt, and scout twice.
That means you get 2 of those dice.
I go
yeah.
okay. I get two dots in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything should have a starting dot.
Okay.
And we'll explain the system in a little bit. But it's you're so Amy can go into her dice vault. We'll be needing a pool of D6s. So like about 10 should do. Like if at the top end.
If you're good at something, you roll 6. If you have
Wow.
specialty items, you get bonuses
Yeah.
Gotcha.
up to like 3 or something like that.
I'm assuming that you have to go through all of your drawers of dice and
Yes, I did. I'm traveling. I'm up north with my boyfriend's parents, so I have brought dice, and we'll see if I have 10 d6s. But I think I have 8. So that'll
should be fine. So does anyone else have a character concept that they want to jump in on?
Oh, did Young give me anything, or I'm just Young?
Young gives you a specific thing. You get what's called a good feeling,
Okay.
and that's because you're young. Because it's like, yay! You haven't been ground down by real life yet. So as Young, you get. Here we are.
I have 10.
Perfect. So normally you get 3 expertises, but because you're young, you only have 2.
Okay.
But you get a permanent good feeling called young.
Okay.
And good feelings are kind of like status effects that give you bonuses because you're feeling, excited. Like if it comes into play, you get bonus dice when you use your feelings.
Gotcha.
Okay, so does anyone else have a character concept, or is anyone ready to embrace the chaos?
Embrace the chaos.
I want to see if this is something. If we're on a prison island, could I be like the empathetic guard? Like a prison?
You can do that.
Or are we even going to the prison, or are we in prison?
You'll be starting on the island.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe my job, I want my job to be in the prison, but I'm like on the side of the prisoners.
Okay. So I think soldier might be a good pick for one of your tags.
Okay, cool. And where do I write this?
Do you have the
It should say, call me if you need a blank at the top.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So call me if you need an empathetic soldier or whatever. Oh, sorry.
Well, yeah. What's the other tag that you want to go with here?
What are the
Can
options?
you reread them, Rob? Yeah.
I can't. Honestly, I would suggest. So one of the options is wingman /wingwoman, and that's kind of like supportive.
Oh,
And I
okay.
think that might be a good choice here.
Cool.
Like, so let's go with those.
Okay,
Wing.
Let's just say wingman. It's easier to say. Wingman soldier.
Okay. So now if you look at the where the diamonds are on the character sheet with the fields and the skills. So excuse me. Your field is action. So you're going to color in an extra diamond under action.
Sweet.
And then you're going to color in a diamond on these skills. Fight, leadership, shoot, first aid,
Ooh.
scout, survival, and tough, and stealth.
Love it.
Your wingman field is going to be guts. And you're getting skills of stunt, drive, shoot, culture, first aid, tech, eloquence, and shoot.
You already
I'm
said
sorry.
shoot.
Scout. I'm sorry.
Got it. They do look the same. Okay, sweet. So my threes are shoot, first aid, and scout.
Okay.
Pretty good wingman.
All right. So does anyone else have a character concept that they want to bite?
I've inspired myself. I'm going to play the
Please, there are ladies present. I'm sorry.
I'm going to play the Black Fox.
Ooh.
So kind of a blustery Robin Hood type. So I went Daredevil, but I don't know what other tag to grab.
But nobody outfoxes the fox.
You can never outfox the fox,
That's
Rob.
right. So Daredevil's a good one.
That's going to be my tagline.
Obviously. So Daredevil's a good one. I feel like... let me look at... Pirate. I almost feel like Cheater might be good here. Otherwise,
I thought about that.
If you want to do like Rebel.
I like that. Daredevil
Okay.
Rebel.
Yeah. So do we need to go over do you want to read off the skills? Do you have them handy?
I don't see them in the book. If you can tell me where in the book they are, I will find them.
No, well, let's read them off. I was actually just to be like, well, if you can do that, I'm going to go talk to Amy, but she is AFK. So,
Okay.
So Rebel gives you crime as a field, stunt, shoot, tech, scout, survival, tough, dexterity, and stealth. And then your expertise is sabotage.
No. Wait. Yep. Okay.
And then for the Daredevil, your field is action. And you get fight, stunt, cool, drive, shoot, charm, scout, and dexterity.
Perfect.
And your
Thank
expertise is heights.
Heights.
Oh,
Perfect. So perfect.
did I have an expertise for Old Salt and Pirate?
Yes, that's sea and foul play.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Did I get any expertises?
Yes, you did. Soldier, you get military and support.
Nice.
So what expertises do is if you're making a roll and it doesn't come out as well as you want it to, if you have an expertise in it, you can pick up any extra dice that didn't hit and re-roll them once for free. We'll get a little bit into the system as we play. So let's Ethan or Tony, do you have character concepts, or are you both embracing the chaos?
Yeah, I'm going Rando Calrissian.
Okay. Ethan, your mic is off.
Classic Ethan.
Sorry, I didn't click on Zoom before I hit the space bar.
It's all right. Well, what are you doing for your character? Ethan?
Random this shit.
All right. We are embracing the chaos. I've slowly the most of the people who are playing here, so like Tawny, Ethan, and Tony, they didn't come up through the like you randomly roll your character phase of RPGs. So we've been slowly kind of like letting them dip their toe and foot in the water of this, and seeing how it goes. And it's actually
Thanks,
worked
I
out.
hate it.
Well, Tawny is very much a like, let me dive into my role kind of role player. Which isn't to say that we don't get good characters from everybody.
Just not my jam.
It's not
Randomness is not my jam.
And that's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so Tony, go ahead and roll 2d6 for me.
2 3s, actually.
All right, well, that makes this easy. Or does it?
It's gonna be a nightmare, I bet.
It's like Traveler, you're dead now.
Yeah.
Professor.
Oh, all right.
And give me another one.
Both?
Yep.
I got a 3 and a 6.
Person of faith.
All right.
Ooh, Professor Person of Faith.
Father, Professor, Professor, Father.
I'm a
Yes.
Christian Scientist.
Yes.
That,
So as a person of faith, you get knowledge as a field.
Okay.
And you get these skills: leadership, cool, drive, culture, first aid, eloquence, observation.
Hold
and,
on. You went way too fast. Could you repeat that again?
leadership,
Yeah.
cool,
Yeah.
drive,
Uh-huh.
culture,
Yeah.
first aid,
First aid.
eloquence,
Eloquence.
observation, and
Observation.
alert.
Alert.
For professor,
Mm-hmm.
where are you? You get society, leadership, culture, first aid, tech, eloquence, observation, alert, and stealth.
Ooh. All right.
And your expertise is religion, and either archaeology or a degree.
Do I get to choose the degree or?
I would
go.
assume so. Though with the broad archetypes that we're playing with here, smart guy is going to be like, yes, I once read a book about like I feel like you'll be able to get away with that pretty easily.
I would choose political science, please.
Whatever you do,
Well, you see the
don't.
governments of small islands like this.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with graphic design.
Loans.
We joke. Like, although illuminated manuscripts really are the graphic design of the 1700s.
I mean, like, for real.
Okay, Ethan.
I
give me
rolled
Roll
a
it.
5 and a 4.
You are a hunk.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh, God. We got a himbo.
Domon 2. Domon lives. And your second roll?
Oh. 5 and a 2.
Explorer.
All right, Indy.
I was
I'm
thinking
already-
The Rock, but okay.
Ooh.
I'm already
Well-
jealous of Ethan's character.
So one of the running gags in this series is that for each time period they use the same 4 signature characters, and they just sort of dolly dress up the characters in different era pieces.
Amazing.
And one of the characters is very clearly modeled on Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
That's amazing.
So as a hunk, you get wild as your field, And your skills are fight, stunt, cool, drive, charm, scout, survival, and tough. And your expertise is strength. As an explorer, well, now you actually get to choose, because both explorer and hunk give you the same field, and if that's the case, you actually choose one of the two optional fields. So, do you want a die in crime or action?
Let's go action, Bob.
All right. Your skills are stunt, first aid, observation, scout, survival, tough, alert, and stealth. Okay. So now that we've got everybody's tags picked, we've got.
Do I get an expertise for that one?
Oh, you do. I'm sorry. I guess you get one of these.
No.
Orienteering is your expertise, which is a very fancy way of. Do you know how to use a compass?
You got Brad. Would you okay?
Oh, Brad is a scout, so of course he's going to have opinions on this. So, in addition to the two expertises that you get from your tags, you get to pick a third one of your own. You can make them up, but I have found that they do have a list of sample ones in both books. So I'm going to read that really quick, and if any of those sound interesting, go ahead and choose that as your third expertise. So archaeology/degree, espionage, heights, heroism, hunting, journalism, lies, medicine, military, orienteering, pickpocket, pistol, sabotage, seduction, strength, support, vehicle of choice. Obviously, boat would be a good one to possibly pick. So there also are ones that are included in each genre book. So out of the Jolly Roger book, we have trade, foul play, intimidation, sea, ships, religion, cannons, cartography, and ropes. And it's generally considered best if you don't double up on expertise. That's more of a guideline.
But as a young character, I only get one.
You have two. You have the two that.
But I don't
you
get an
get.
extra one.
Correct.
All right.
I have taken pickpocket.
Okay. So what are your three expertises? Teasies? I don't know.
Sabotage, heights, and pickpocket.
Okay. Tony?
I chose cartography, so my three are religion, degree, and cartography.
Okay. Ethan?
I went with ropes.
Okay.
So I am my expertise are strength, orienteering, and ropes.
Okay.
There's a joke there.
There is. There has to be.
A hunk who love ropes, huh?
Hmm.
And Amy, what did you pick?
Well, I wrote down ropes, but now, so I'm going to change it to C. Or no, we have someone with a C, don't we?
Yeah.
Will you read them just one more time?
The expertises are trade, foul play, intimidation, ships. Religion.
Intimidation. We'll do intimidation. I'm a soldier.
Yeah.
It also might be a good one for pistol too, since you have a lot of shoot. If you don't already have that.
I'm gonna do intimidation.
Okay.
So my three are military, support, and intimidation.
Okay.
Nice.
So now if you look at the top of your character sheet, you will see I am blank, that's your character name. Call me if you need a, and that's where you smash together your tags. Places I call home. The characters of Broken Compass are innately well-traveled. So they tend to be from one place. They live in a second place, and they work in a third place. This also allows us to cover a lot of sort of cultural area, so that way we don't have to be. Does anybody speak ancient Greek here? So if you have those in mind, you can certainly do that, or you can once again embrace the chaos and roll randomly on the chart.
Can I just say I'm from the sea? I'm from the sea. I live in the sea. I work in the sea.
I would still want you to choose
dolphin.
Yeah.
I'm just Aquaman.
I still would want you to choose. Like, you can use the sea for one of those, and then pick or roll 2 more.
All right, I'll roll 2 more.
Yeah, I'm rolling them all. Keep it all rando.
Oh, I have the broken compass dice, and it gave me an east and a compass.
Okay, so that's a 5 and a 6.
Okay.
You are from the Middle East.
Okay.
What do we roll to get these?
2d6.
And add them together?
No, just tell me which ones, because it basically pops a column, and then you go down the column.
I see.
I think I have 6 and 6 for the second one.
Eastern Australia.
I love this.
5 and a 3 is Japan. Who's next?
Me. I'll do a 1 and a 3.
The colonies, the United States Eastern Coast.
Cool. We just do it once,
right.
right?
No, you do once for each of the 3 spots
Yeah,
you want to
I'll
see.
go random on these. 3 and a 6.
Eastern Europe.
3 and a 1.
England/Scotland/Ireland.
A 5 and a 6.
The Middle East.
Oh, yeah.
Arabia, if you will.
6 and a 4.
Western Australia. 4 and a 2. Libya/Egypt.
Oh.
Tony, you've been waiting. What have you rolled? Or did you pick?
You talking to me or Tawny?
Tony.
I rolled a 1 and a 2, and you said Egypt.
No, that was
that was for
4
this
and a
guy.
2.
Oh, that was for Ethan. Okay.
Yeah. A 1 and a 2 is Canada.
Oh, cool. All right. Hey.
A 3 and a 3 is France, Belgium, Netherlands.
Nice.
2 and a 4.
Brazil.
I work in Brazil.
5 and a 4.
India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. Now, we will have to adjust these for the time period, but are we all set for all 3?
Just one more.
Okay.
4 and a 6.
South Africa.
Oh my God. All right.
And then you choose your words to live by, which is essentially your catchphrase.
To adventure!
Okay, perfect.
You can never outfox the fox.
Perfect. If you don't have one, once again, there's a chart for that.
Oh, all right.
I love that Tony is just going face first into the chaos.
Yep.
I would like to roll as well.
Okay.
Got a
6-4.
6-4 for Ethan. The best defense is a good offense.
Oh, that's
3-5.
Follow my lead.
Oh.
That fits. All right.
1-1.
Ooh.
No one gets left behind.
Oh, that's perfect. I'm an empathetic soldier.
Yes. That is great.
I love it when the random rolls like this just click in perfectly.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, obviously, okay. Okay, so we are just about done with the character creation process, but we still have a little bit of time to fill. So let's talk about the album here. Like,
Ooh.
what is it? How did you come up with it?
Yes, I will tell you all the things. So the first album I ever did was called Songs in the Key of D&D, and that started out as just playing with my ukulele and writing one song for every time we would play a role-playing game, and it would normally have something to do with what happened in the last game, but sometimes it was more generic. And then I picked my top 10 favorites after I think it was about 40 songs, and put them all on an album and got them produced. And that was all kind of more of a hobby thing. And so this time it's been about 5 years, and I said, oh, maybe I'll make another album. But this time, just knowing how much time and effort and money it takes to actually make an album, I thought, well, maybe I'll Kickstart it and I don't know, just help me out with the cost for it. So I named it Behold Her Dreams is the title of the album. And it can be a play on words. It's definitely a cool title anyway, but for you folks who are obviously role-playing nerds, Beholder Dreams is when a beholder dreams, they create monster amalgamations. And sometimes that means beholder babies, or they dream of their babies, and then that turns into an actual thing. So I was like, well, during quarantine, all of my little mind nuggets are very strange and weird. Some are funny, but the whole theme of the album is like, this is kind of just what came into my brain. You're welcome. And so I'm calling it Beholder Dreams. So they're like weird amalgamations of just actual things that came into my head.
That's awesome. I actually did not know that about beholders.
Yeah, I learned about it when I was writing for Fizbin's Treasury of Dragons, which is a D&D book, and they have a dragon in there this is probably a spoiler, and I don't know if I'll get in trouble for it, but there's actually like it's a weird dragon that if a beholder dreams about a dragon, this is the monster that it is.
Oh.
So I was like, what is that? And so, yeah, like I didn't know until within this last year and a half that was an actual thing. And then I looked up Beholder Dreams, and it's like, oh yeah, that's how they give birth as well. It's very strange.
Because you also wrote for
Candlekeep Mysteries.
Yes, I love your adventure.
Thank you.
I love it so much. It is just.
We did it on Plot Points.
Yeah, we did. We recorded a Plot Points episode on it, and it just.
Oh, cool! I think I saw that. Yeah, y'all.
Yeah,
y'all would be the crew to like it. I think it's definitely an acquired taste, and I didn't go into it thinking, oh, all right, a silly adventure, but it did turn out to be quite silly. Because
it definitely it's refreshing because you're still having the adventure, but you also have that that lightheartedness, so you're not just like dredging through everything. You're like, oh my god, you're like, oh, okay.
It's right. Oh, we're here now.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's for the people that like Deacon in their party in Neverwinter.
Yes. I also said it's a good pathway if you're playing like hardcore D&D. This adventure might be a good bridge to get you right smack dab into Spelljammers if you want to. The silliness of Spelljammers.
I like it. Humor is so hard to pull off in role-playing games because different groups have different tastes and senses of humor, and I really like the fact that you just went for it, and it's such a refreshing sea change of an adventure.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I got lucky that the project director is Chris Perkins, which I think he was like, yeah, let's do this. This sounds fun, and he himself is quite a silly man, so that's pretty lucky.
Well, it also helps that I think Candlekeep was kind of built to be a like off-speed sort of. This isn't just a stack of dungeon crawls. Like we're trying to do something different here, and that was a great choice for that. So what do you have anything planned as far as like stretch goals or
so right now it's pretty much we're gonna just pay for the album, and I go live on August 31st. It's August 31st through September 23rd. Don't know when this is gonna go live, but ideally somewhere in there. And the goal at the moment, I'm working with a Kickstarter coach and just like pricing out all the merch and the actual production, and then the taxes and fees. And so the album right now my goal right now is 12,000. I need to get a little more clarity on some things, but it might be 11,000 or 12,000 depending, because I just want to make the album. And then the stretch goals, I think I'm still thinking about them, because I'm so cynical about myself. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to make this. So, but I would be excited, because I want to, one of the stretch goals will be, I think, to unlock some just Dungeons and Dragons games where I can, like, if you back at this level, I'll just open up some rewards. Another one that I am hoping to do is produce a music video. I don't think this is a stretch goal, but I'm going to have a Twitch party. I just have to set that up. Look, we're recording this 2.5 weeks from when I launched, so I still have a lot left to do, but I have been working on it since January. Anyway, there are some things that are up in the air, but I'm also open to hearing what people actually want. Right now, I'm just like, having fun, being curious of like, oh, could I even raise enough money to make an album that, just by nature of people wanting to listen to the songs, I could pay for it. So we'll see. But yeah.
I would like to give the suggestion of a bumper sticker.
Okay. Well, and what do you have? What it says?
I backed AMY VORPAHL's Kickstarter and I got the sticker. Like, that's all it is. Like, just like real simple, just like classic, like nothing fancy. Just like, yeah, I'm
Not
cooler
like
than you because I backed
Vorpahl on board.
Vorpahl
okay.
2024.
There's a Vorpahl. I do have some of the two merch items that I'm doing are an enamel pin that is a Vorpahl sword. It's my version of a Vorpahl sword. And then I can share the picture with y'all if you want to see. It's a Vorpahl sword. You'll see it on the page. It'll be bright and shiny on the page. Let's see if I can. Oh, I can put it in the chat and y'all can see it for now. And then I'm doing 3D pack of 3D6s. And on the 6, one is a Vorpahl sword, one is a Jabberwocky, and then the third one is it just says Snicker Snack. So let's see, I might throw that in there too. There you go.
So my suggestion is if you had, so when I ran my Kickstarter, one of the most lucrative things that happened was I opened up game sessions and said, if you back at blah, I will run a game that I worked on, and I feel like you will command at least two more zeros worth of what I was able to make doing that.
Okay. The thing with that is this is such my weird narcissistic brain. Like Rob, I think I'm right on track, or you and I are on the same page. Like, I think I'm pretty sure that is definitely a niche that I have covered. And part of me, I think right now it's not a reward, and I want to do it after the album makes its own money. And I just want to see if like the album on its own can, just my music can do it. Cause I know that the Venn diagram, as far as D&D goes, it's massive and big and everyone knows. And so I just want to see if there even is a market for the album on its own. But my Kickstarter coach said, like, fast forward to, you're doing it for 3 weeks. So maybe in the second week, if you're not where you want to be, just, open up the other thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The other thing is that did well for me as far as like bigger goals and was people want to have their name on the thing, and I offered the opportunity to have people name, like I would use people's names as like background characters. I offered the opportunity for people to actually be in the comic book, like send me a picture and you'll be like, standing at the airport while the good guys walk past. Kind of stuff.
That's so fun.
And I think especially because you have a fan base, I think people definitely want to, help you and also be
have
able
a
to
shout out.
Also be able to hold up a thing and go, that's me right there.
Oh, I do that with Pugmire all the time because our dog's in the book.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Okay, that's a really good idea. Okay, I still have time to come up with stuff. So
Also, and this may be a follow-up Kickstarter, but when you do your rest book, you have to call it Amy Vorpahl's Snicker Snacks, right?
my recipe. Yes, that's amazing. Yes.
So,
oh my
10
god.
out of 10 would buy.
Yeah.
Snicker snacks.
so all right. Now that we have concluded this marketing seminar, we can get
Yes,
back
thank
to
you so much, and thanks for exactly. Thanks for the hot tips. Tips.
Although you shouldn't necessarily listen to me because my Kickstarter is like 5 years old and I'm only now finally moving to fulfill it. So maybe don't do everything that I've done.
Here's all some advice. Now ignore all of it.
No, I have the songs all written but I'm still writing more songs, and then 5 of them are already produced. So I'm pretty sure I can deliver within a good time frame.
Awesome. All right. So we will return in just a few moments as we jump into the adventure part of our game. So please come back to us and see how we play Broken Compass, Jolly Roger. Congratulations, fellow human! You've reached the end of an exciting episode of Theater of the Mind Players. If you enjoyed our story, please like the video. If you want more games, subscribe to our channel. Attack the bell for notifications on new posts. If you liked the episode, please tell us what you enjoyed the most in the comments. If you loved the episode, consider joining our Patreon. You'll get access to special shows, session zeros, and help us determine what we play on the show. We love our friends of Pat Rayon, and we hope to see you there.